Well, well, well. Full-time whistle has just blown in Pretoria. As you can see, I'm in Leicester right now. I'm here for Leicester Tigers versus the Sharks, working on the game in a little bit. But just finished watching the Bulls against Northampton Saints, and that is what I want to talk about on this video. Some instant thoughts immediately following the game. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to reveal the result. And a very, very surprising Bulls 21, Northampton Saints 30. What a win for Northampton Saints in Pretoria, at altitude, in the heat, away from home, against all of those Springbok superstars. But I guess the biggest question overall, I'm thinking at this precise moment in time, is how on earth did Bulls lose that? How wasteful were they? What was there? At least it was 3 disallowed tries, was it? Or butchered tries. You could probably add 4 or 5 if you count kind of errors. Villy LaRue and Kane and Moody not managing to touch the ball down. 2 tries disallowed for obstruction. 1 when Aka van der Merwe was off the back of a maul and was just walking in. I mean, crazy. And Jake White said, sorry, you need to get by. Yep. Oh, no, it's fine. You crack on. Jake White said this was the Bulls' year. It's not looking like it's going to be the Bulls' year in the Champions Cup, is it? A loss at home, having been pretty poor away at Saracens last week, defeats the 2 English teams in 2 weeks. I did not think that was going to be the case. Well, well, well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe on the channel. I'm Tim and this is Egg Chasers, and yeah, I'll bring you... this ground is something else. And this is a team that have won the Champions Cup twice. I mean, a long time ago now. It was in, what, 2001 and 2002 they won it. So 22 years since they won a title, but they've lifted the... Well, it was the Heineken Cup then, but they've lifted the Champions Cup twice. And, well, they're going to be gunning for a win. And I think you saw from the Northampton Saints pure effort and passion that they poured into that game, the defensive effort, just what this competition means to English clubs and clubs that have been part of that 30-year history. And I don't know whether, and maybe you can tell me what you think, I don't know whether the fact that this is a relatively unknown competition for South African players and fans and coaches, whether they are focusing on the URC and psychologically they're not kind of putting the emphasis on it that it would need to win. But you saw from Northampton Saints, who have also won the tournament once back in the year 2000, you saw what it meant to them. And it was a big statement to bring a full-bore team down to Pretoria. Whereas, you know, here at Leicester Tigers, the Sharks are leaving their big guns, Oxenche and Ibn Etzebeth and Bongi and Banambi and co. They're leaving them all behind. Northampton Saints took all their England internationals and some of them stood up big time. Leicester Tigers even, who are playing here at home, they didn't take their... They didn't, when they went to Bordeaux last week, there's 5 full internationals that are coming into their starting 15 this week. And Northampton Saints rolled the dice on it, had a go. And yeah, I kind of wonder whether the fact that Northampton Saints played at home in the quarterfinal against the Bulls, who sent a second string team, I wonder whether that was part of the thinking with Northampton Saints. It's like, okay, well, we'll show you. If you're not going to bring your best team to us, we'll bring our best team to you. And they've gone and won. And Jake White's got to be coming under some pressure now, hasn't he? 2 really poor performances in this competition. And I don't know, maybe that's me over egging the pudding, because I'm going to sit in the dugout here, the Leicester Tigers dugout. Got nice chairs here, haven't they? And I don't know whether... Yeah, maybe they don't prioritise this competition, but they picked a team that looked like it should have gone out and won. And some of their big players did play really well. Cameron Hanacon was great. And they... Well, let me just go back a step. 20 minutes in, I was thinking, how on earth is this 0-0? How are the Bulls not out of sight already? They were completely dominant. In the first half, there were 6 scrum penalties for the Bulls and a yellow card against Northampton. And that just led to a massive amount of territory and possession. But somehow, the Bulls could not make it count. And then, after Elric Lowe, the Sheriff, put his opposite captain out of the match with a walloping hit on George Furbank. That's a concern for England. Hendy came on and made an instant impact, made a break in his own half, and then under the Bulls' sticks, found a gap, and Finn Smith just waited for his pass, took a little step and a lift and put him in for a try. And somehow Saints were ahead, despite having been dominated. But there was an instant reply, Marcel Coetzee, the veteran, scoring a try. So Bulls were 7-5 up, and you thought, okay, right, well, okay, they've had their moment. Now they're going to take control. But they just did not control the game very well. When they had a scrum penalty, they did not take care of business. And quick thinking from Alex Mitchell just before the half, this was a big moment in the match, put João Augustus in for a try. And the Bulls could have they'd squeezed the yellow card, they got themselves ahead, and, well, a couple of tries disallowed by this point, and they could have just ended the half, but tried to play, and, well, Northampton took their opportunity, and Alex Mitchell, I mean, they lost George Furbank. Talk about international players stepping up. Alex Mitchell was absolutely awesome. I thought Cameron Hancock was the best player for the Bulls. Mitchell was the best player for Northampton Saints. My goodness me, England have missed Mitchell. He's so good. He just makes that team tick, doesn't he? So it was 12-7 to Saints at half-time, and I couldn't quite believe the score. But what I was thinking was, well, the dam's going to burst at some point. And the second half, well, another try chalked off. That was when Moody and Villy LaRue. And then it was after that try was chalked off. So it was there was lots of handling errors. I don't know whether it's particularly sweaty, greasy. I mean, it was fairly hot when I was in Loftus Versfeld in July for the Ireland match. It wasn't hot, but it was warm, given it was a South African winter. But it looked pretty hot from the Northampton players putting ice packs on the back of their neck in every break in play. But when the Bulls had a try chalked off, they then knocked it on. Then they gave away a scrum penalty from that scrum from the knock on. Then they gave away another penalty. Then they gave away another penalty, and Saints knocked it over and had an 8-point lead. And then it looked like the game was done and dusted when Alex Mitchell, with a brilliant 50-22, set up what looked like was the winning try of the game to put Saints 22-7 up. When Tommy Freeman scored, but as it turned out, it wasn't just the Bulls that were butchering tries. Tommy Freeman did as well. And then, actually, the Bulls played with a bit of urgency. Hanacom scored a try, 14-21. There was another try to bring it back. Hanacom to bring it back to 21-22. Box office last 10 minutes. But the accuracy was not there from the Bulls. And Tommy Freeman with a sucker punch of a try at the end, making up for the one that he missed earlier. And there we go, a famous win. And the full 5 points, was it? Hold on, have I got that right? Augustus, Hendy, Freeman, 3 tries, is it? Maybe not the 5, who cares? Doesn't matter. I mean, how Saints won that when they were being pumped in the scrum so much. Trevor Davison made a difference, actually, in the second half when he came on. Good player coming off the bench. And there we go. If you're a Bulls fan, what do you make of that? Is Jake White under pressure, or do you actually... And does Jake White perhaps not care about the Champions Cup? And when he said this is going to be Bulls' year, is he referring to the URC? Well, they're going to have to take their medicine after that one. Be very interesting to see what the fallout is. And yeah, too many skill errors. Too many skill errors, too many missed opportunities, and you can't afford to when you're in the top club competition in the world. Interesting game. Fair play, Northampton Saints. Right, I'm going to go and get ready. I've got to get busy. For the Champions Cup game between Leicester Tigers and the Sharks here. I'll be back on the channel very soon. I'll see you on the next one.